Last year, I announced my ministry's Healthcare 2020 Master Plan to build an inclusive healthcare system for the future, one that will provide Singaporeans with affordable, effective, and good quality healthcare. Dr. Lam Pin Min asked about the progress of Healthcare 2020. First, on capacity to meet the needs of our patients. Over the past 5 years, resident bed days rose by about 4% each year, from roughly 1.5 million to 1.8 million bed days in total. A significant proportion of this increase was contributed by an aging population. Over the years, foreign visitors have remained about 2% of the public sector's total patient load, a question that Mr. Lau asked. Our hospitals adopt various strategies to actively manage the increasing patient load. For example, they deploy inpatient medical teams to the emergency department to ensure that prompt medical assessment and definitive care can be provided at the ED even before patients are warded. In the short term, we will increase our capacity by adding beds in existing facilities. NUH's current renovation project will make available an additional 79 beds by December. Ang Mo Kio Tai Hwa Kwan Community Hospital has just added 50 beds, and St. Luke's will add a similar number by year end. We will also be opening 2 new facilities this year. The new medical center at the NUH will open by July 2013. This will allow NUH to expand its specialist outpatient clinics and the day surgery operating theatres. The building will also house the National University Cancer Institute. The new National Heart Centre, on the other hand, will allow for expansion in our cardiac services. We are on track with our infrastructure plans for the medium term. The Ng Teng Fong General Hospital will begin to serve patients from end 2014. This is our next upcoming acute hospital. Jurong and Yishun Community Hospitals will be ready by end 2015. Sengkang General and Community Hospitals are scheduled for completion by 2018. In the Central Region, Outram Community Hospital will be ready by 2020, and altogether we will add 4,100 more acute and community hospital beds. This is 400 more than what we announced in Healthcare 2020. Dr. Lily Neo talked about planning for future healthcare needs. Beyond 2020, we are planning for new hospitals in new population centers and in areas where demand is likely to grow. We anticipate that we may need to build 4 more new acute hospitals between 2020 and 2030. We are currently studying regional demographic profiles to identify potential locations for these new hospitals, and we will review our infrastructure plans nearer 2020. We will also need to build more polyclinic capacity to meet the growing needs of our population. We have refurbished Geylang Polyclinic to increase its capacity and incorporate age-friendly features such as barrier-free access throughout its premises. Similar improvements are being made to Tampines Polyclinic, and we will also be redeveloping Ang Mo Kio and Bedok Polyclinics. In regions where there may be gaps in coverage, building a new polyclinic will be necessary. I'm happy to let Mr. Cedric Foo know that we will be indeed constructing a new polyclinic in the Jurong West area near Pioneer. This new polyclinic, along with the new Punggol Polyclinic, which Ms. Penny Loh asked about, will open by 2017. I anticipate that we will need another 4 new polyclinics by 2020 and another 6 to 8 more polyclinics by 2030. All our polyclinics are equipped to handle basic emergencies, a point which Dr. Teo Pin raised. However, for serious emergencies, patients will be triaged and referred to the emergency departments of our public hospitals. Polyclinics continue to play an important role in our primary care sector. Our polyclinics, together with a wide network of GPs and CHAS, provide the public with good access to primary healthcare services. Let me now move on to talk about how we are developing our healthcare workforce. In the past year, our healthcare professional workforce grew by 3,700, or about 8%. We are on track to growing our professional workforce to meet the healthcare needs of our population as outlined in Healthcare 2020. Our priority continues to be to grow our local healthcare manpower supply. We will continue to invest in the training of our healthcare professionals. In addition to classroom training within educational institutions, healthcare professionals also undergo supervised training in the public healthcare institutions. We also aim to raise the attractiveness of careers in healthcare. Last year, we increased the salaries for all healthcare staff in both the public and VWO long-term care sectors. This includes specialists, which Mr. Loh Tia Kang asked about. The salaries of our specialists take into account their contributions in all areas: patient care, education, research, and leadership. Their skills are especially valuable in our public hospitals, where patients are cared for by a team. We need experienced specialists to supervise and lead the team and ensure that we deliver good quality care. We allow our specialists to see private patients, but within certain guidelines, as this helps to retain them within the public sector. We will be introducing a new remuneration framework in 2014, and we intend to pool part of the professional fees, a point that was made by Mr. Loh. MOH has also started a campaign to increase the awareness of the diverse and fulfilling work that nurses and allied health professionals do to attract more Singaporeans to join the healthcare. Beyond our local training pipelines, we will continue to supplement our healthcare workforce with overseas trained professionals, especially overseas Singaporeans. The pre-employment grant for Singaporean medical and dental students studying overseas has proven to be successful, with 189 grants given out since 2010. Foreign healthcare workers also help us meet our healthcare service needs, add diversity to the sector, and help develop our capabilities in various clinical specialties. Public healthcare institutions have put in place various initiatives to help them adapt to our practices and working environment so that they can be effective members of our team in serving our patients.